Sabari Najong. It's Sab and I'm here with
Lazo Schemes. How y'all feeling?
So welcome back to the pod. We are now finally doing a formal interview. So I'm pretty excited about it.
For sure.
And we are in the studio space one of the studio spaces that you use.
This is the dojo. It's, first of all, that's not just a nickname. We actually call this the dojo. Shout out Jay Noir. Very much certified in his lane of the industry that he's in. Certified gold producer, established engineer. He's been blessing tracks for countless artists across the Chicagoland area and beyond that. And we connected in a very authentic way. It was literally a different artist listening party. I was just there, just networking, and I'm listening to the music, but the beats were just leaping at me. I literally said super loud, super obnoxious. So I'm like, yo, who made these beats? I just peep bro in the corner, raise his hand, volunteers tribute type energy. And we just connected. And he was in school for audio engineering at the time. I used to pull up to his dorm and we would lock in. Yeah, we've been locked in for about like 6+ years. 6 years?
So you guys have been working together for 6 years. Obviously, that was going to be one of my questions was how long you've been making music. Word. And you said modeling is a little bit newer for you, right? Like it's been in the last 2 years or so?
Yes. So musically, I've been putting music out since 2018. Currently, I'm an R&B artist. So I rebranded in 2021 into a more moody, alternative R&B type thing. Prior to that, I used to be a rapper that sang my own hooks. But I gained a lot of notoriety when I came out with my first R&B project. It was about 5 tracks. It was called Nightcrawler. And it's funny that title for that EP stuck as almost like an alter ego of sorts. But that project was the first time that I had any log write-up or any type of quote-unquote external validation or what have you. And it was really dope though, because that was 2019. I hadn't fully rebranded yet. But I was in this relationship or whatever, and it was this girl. I convinced her to model. I wasn't modeling yet, right? I've always loved fashion. I remember the biggest reason why I have always been passionate about fashion. I remember my junior year of high school, I wrote a paper on how A$AP Rocky was the first black man on Dior magazine. A lot of people don't know that, right? But I just thought that was so dope because that's not what he started creating to do. He just presented himself as his authentic self, and that just happened along the way. And I really relate with that in looking back, because I've always been a lover of fashion. It's like I look at fashion like expressionless or voiceless art. You pull up as yourself, however you like, whatever your outfit is, you're saying a million things just from that one out. The color palette, the tones, the textures, how it's layered, all these different things. I always thought that was so cool, especially from Chicago. We experience the extremities of each 4 seasons. So to backtrack to music, I fully rebranded in 2021. I'm like, yo, forget rap. Still rap here and there.
Yeah, I heard. On the EP.
Love, hold on. Love, sure. I appreciate that good energy. A lot of my homegirls were pleasantly surprised. They were like, you rap? Wait, they did not know that was me on the outro. They're like, this is you? They're like, this is dope. I'm like, I know, thanks. But no, I look at a big reason why I step back from rap is, I'm gonna be real, I'm highly competitive. So I look at music like a sport. And when I look at the landscape of Chicago, I put my business hat on and I look at it like, you know what? We don't have a male face R&B in this generation, right? I won't get into names of the previous people, but they've essentially either eliminated themselves or they don't really rep the city like they should. Well, one notable person, like Jeremiah, right? He's from Chicago, household name, so to speak, but he doesn't really champion the city. Chance does. Yeah. Chance, he's a philanthropist. He's all those different things that happen in the education system. Then he turns around and donates to the education system. He's actively a part of the growth of Chicago, all these different things. You don't really have a male R&B artist who's like, no, I'm from Chicago and I am a household name. I am a this, I am a that, I am an icon, all that. So I'm like, I'll do it. That's been my whole mission statement as far as that. And then
I actually have a funny story about Jeremiah. So I was going to LA one year.
Where?
I think it was like 2017. It was around Camp Flognog. I think that's when we were going out to LA. And I go out there often. My sister lives out there.
Clutch.
But we were going out there. I don't even know what it was that we were doing. I think we're just going out there to visit, right? So we usually drive down from Milwaukee to to O'Hare just because flights are typically cheaper to fly out of O'Hare than for us to fly out of Milwaukee. So we boarded the flight, and Scottie Pippen was on the flight.
Crazy. What?
And Jeremiah was on the flight too.
Whoa.
And then we got off the flight, and at the time I was dating someone who was a rapper, and he was like, oh, he had these flash drives with songs and his beats and shit on there. So we used to use me as a way into things. You know what I mean? Because I'm a short little Asian girl. I can kind of, wiggle my way through things. And it's a little bit more acceptable for me to walk up to somebody.
I feel it.
So he's like, here. So he's talking to me the whole time about we're going to have this whole elaborate plan when we get off the flight in LA. He's like, we got to give him my flash drives so he can hear my music. And I'm like, goofy me, believing in him so heavily. And so I'm like walking up to Jeremiah, and he has his friends or family, whoever he's with, right? And I'm walking up to him, and I was like, hey, I just casually go up to him, and I try to shake his hand and pass him the flash drive at the same time. But as I'm walking up, I trip over myself.
No, that's so cinematic.
And it was so funny though. I just laughed because I'm not the type of person, not that I don't get embarrassed, but I just laughed because it's such a me thing to do. I'm the clumsiest person ever. And I'm like, no way did I just trip and almost bust my face walking up to Jeremiah. And I was like, and it was just so funny because it's like, he'll probably remember that for a while. He'll probably be like, this little Asian girl just came up to me when I got off the flight in LA, and she handed me a flash drive and she tripped and fell. Like, that's so funny because everybody was laughing, and I was like, I was laughing too, but I'm like, memorable. So fuck it, I'm not even tripping. It was so.
Technically, you was tripping.
I technically was tripping, but I was like, so funny. But sorry, that was such a sidebar.
No, you're good.
But I agree with you. I don't want to speak for Chicago because I'm not from here, but
you have a eye and you're a very observant person, so your opinion still matters. And
I like that you talk about that because I feel like a lot of the time we don't always get like real essence of who the artist really is, because it's like you put a part of you in the music that you're making, but it's not necessarily, that doesn't paint the whole picture of who you are. And sometimes, even for myself personally, I've been through experiences with people in the industry, and I see that it can feel superficial real fast, you know what I mean? And
very transactional.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I'm very particular about who I work with now.
Or that discernment.
If I don't feel like you could even get on board with what I envision doing with my journalism, I don't even, like, it would just be a waste of my time. Like, I don't care about the clout. I don't care about all that shit. I could meet someone who has 150,000 followers and interview them on the spot, but what is that going to make? What difference does that make for me when the content that they're making has no resonation to what I'm making?
It's not in alignment.
Exactly. It doesn't. I know that the message that I want to portray and the narrative I want to give to the world, it's something that's not very much talked about. Most people I don't blame people. I want the entertainment over the informational shit.
Unfortunately, sometimes, yeah.
So it can be a little complicated, but I love that you shared that passion, because that is similar to what I want to do in my city. It's a little difficult. You said you've been doing this for 6 years. What's your earliest experiences when it comes to music in general? What's your earliest memory of actually singing and knowing that that's something you want to pursue?
So, great question. So, let's time travel a little bit. I'll give you two. So first, a lot of people don't know this. I've been making music my whole life, right? Mm-hmm. So I remember being a little kid, couldn't have been older than 10, probably like 8. Mm. And I would go on YouTube and I would look up like Kid Cudi instrumentals, Kanye instrumentals, just stuff that were familiar. And I would write songs to them and I would show my mom. And it was my way of show and tell a little bit. And honestly, from then till I left Chicago and came back. So the first time leaving Chicago around 2016-ish, from that period of time, from like 8 till then, it was really just my mom was one of the only people that knew that I made music. And besides a couple of high school classmates, I remember jotting down in my journal and just some music, songwriting, whatever.
Right.
Leaving the classroom, coming back, and the paper had a bunch of people commenting on it. It was hilarious, but it was so cool at the same time. The girl I was dating at the time, her homegirls, some of the bros in the class, they were like, yo, this is fire. They're writing it around. I was like, it was kind of cool. Fast forward till around 2016, 2017, I was in South Carolina because I used to play basketball. I was okay. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, I was the dopest, whatever. Like, it's cool.
Yeah.
Right? I love what basketball did for me, which was traveling. So I was in South Carolina playing rival basketball, and I had got this injury, very light injury, but it had me out for like about a week. During that week, that was like the first time where I had not touched a basketball for a full week. But at the same time, during that week, I felt so fulfilled only because that whole week I was songwriting.
Oh, wow.
Like, I had the time to, because I wasn't going to 2 practices a day. I wasn't doing all of these like other things. And how music was for me at the time and how it still is like, it's a way of therapy. It's a way for me, because like as a guy, a lot of times, especially coming from sports, there's like this toxic masculinity, I feel like, with sports, like like this a lot of times, not all the time, but there's this like mentality of like walk it off, or like, or
tough it out.
Yeah, you know, and like that's not healthy, you know.
Right.
But what rang it home for me, what made me like kind of step away from basketball and just come home and pursue music, some of my classmates when I was in South Carolina, they convinced me to do this open mic. I wasn't gonna do it. I was like, no, I'm not gonna do it, da da da. And I just remember like some of my homegirls like, no, you should do it. Like, they're hyping me up. I'm like, you know what? Okay, forget it. Let's do it, right? Yeah. Me being who I am, I'm in some of my classes, and towards the end of class, I tell the whole class, I'm like, yo, if you're free on Wednesday, come by the library. I'm finna be, you know, whatever. I'm thinking nothing of it.
Yeah.
Right? So it comes time for the open mic, and it's about like 2:50. 3 o'clock is when the open mic starts. Yeah. I'm looking in the library. I see like this little band. They're jamming out. Besides that band and a couple of librarians, are like maybe 3 people there. So I'm like, okay. Like, I'm feeling kind of like, okay, cool. Like, no pressure. Yeah. When it hit 2:59, a whole classroom comes in. Like, one of my classes, the whole class is coming in. The whole class comes in. I'm like, shoot. This first song I ever performed is called Tears. It was basically just about like, you know, like that childhood story of like, you know, what I was going through during things like that. Like, the dynamic me and my mom, like, you know, what I'm eventually grow up and do, like all these things, whatever, right? One of those kind of, because my music then isn't my music now. My music then was kind of like this kind of J. Cole, Chance, Kid Cudi type thing, right?
Yeah, that was one of my questions too. Yeah.
So yeah, so I perform it. Midway through the performance, towards the end of the performance, one of my classmates, well, one of my when the other classes comes in, the teacher, she's like, no, you gotta go again. We missed it. You gotta go again. In my mind, I'm like, is that an encore? Wait, what is happening? Okay, shoot. Okay, I'll do it again. Towards the end of that performance, my basketball team walks in. Mind you, my nickname for on the team was Chicago, because I was the only person from Chicago. Yeah. One of the most obnoxious dudes on the team, he walks in first, like, no, Chicago, no, you go again, we missed. I'm like, this encore is my first time performing? I'm like, okay.
Crazy.
My mind was like, literally, no pun intended, I had jumped through hoops for basketball my whole life. I went to 5 high schools in 4 years. I did AAU, everything, really put 110%, or what I thought was 110% at that time, into basketball. And the first time I take a half step into music, absolute love. I'm like, yeah, this is in alignment. Yeah. There's something here. Right. So I call my mom, like, Mom, I'm coming home. I'm done. Basketball, like, I'm done or whatever, right? And that was a much needed experience, because South Carolina really opened my eyes to just the rest of the world, because, you know, traveling all. And while I was down there, I met this girl, you know what I'm saying? That changed my life, because because prior to that connection I made with her, my first girlfriend had cheated on me or whatever. So I had this very pessimistic, damaged. Jaded. I was 18. Like, I didn't have much life experience to really compare it to. Then I meet her, and she really like opened my eyes. Like, you know, oh snap, there's good women out here. Like, supportive, authentic, genuine, intellectual, and still attractive. I'm like, hold on. Yeah. There's hope. I'm like, this is dope. And we were long distance at first. And then, you know, I go back to Chicago. I eventually move her into my apartment, and I continued to pursue music, convinced her to model. And that propelled into what happened with my first R&B project, because while she was traveling the world, we were long distance again.
Yeah.
And instead of stepping out of that situation, I wrote about it.
Yeah.
And my music became from, because mind you, I used to rap, so it was like very braggadocious, ego, blah 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 blah. Project was the opposite of that. Nightcrawler 1 was raw. It was authentic. It was relatable, you know. And that was the first time a blog wrote up about me. It was like, no, like they compared me to, in the blog write up. They compared me to like early Bryson Tiller or whatever. And I took that as a compliment because I'm like, even though I don't really care for comparisons, I remember when Trap Soul first came.
Yeah.
I remember that. I remember when I first heard Don't on SoundCloud via Wolf Tyler because I remember I was following Wolf Tyler on Vine.
Yeah.
And she was like one of the first like influencers for real. Like,
yeah.
And it's still like this today. If there's an influencer that has a huge platform, you can contact them, send them your song, and you might pay them, you might not, or however that goes, and they will promote your song. So I remember because I followed her on Tumblr. Yeah. Shout out Tumblr, if you know, you know. I followed her on Tumblr, and she was saying, listen to this new song, Don't by Bryson Tiller. It was on SoundCloud with like maybe 100,000 listens. I was washing the dishes. It was winter 2014. I'm washing the dishes. I'm listening to this. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. Yeah. You know, so when I got that comparison, I was like, wow, that's full circle.
That's the best part about music, right? Is like it brings a memory. Like just something that you may like not even think about on a daily basis. You listen to like an old song, because we were just listening to Bryson Tiller earlier.
That's crazy.
And we're like, yo, this song, like we're like, man, it's such a good fucking time. This is such a good song, and it takes you back to when you like first experienced it. And that used to be one of my questions. Like when I see these impromptu interviews, one of my questions was like, if there was a song that you could listen to for the first time to fall in love with all over again, like what would that song be? It's obviously thought-provoking, but it's to kind of remind you, like, what's a fond memory for you? Or what's a song that just kind of speaks to you, even if it's just right now, something new. But, you know, it's just something to think about.
If I did answer that question. Yeah. A song I could listen to again for the first time. Well, I'd say, honestly, Marvin's Room.
Marvin's Room. Which
Marvin's
version,
Room
though?
Drake.
It gotta be Drake.
Marvin's Room Drake. That changed my perspective of music. I'm gonna be real, because like prior to Marvin's Room, there wasn't a song like that went number one. That song went number one, and that song's not. And then what I love about that song is that, because I tell people all the time, like a big reason why Drake is so successful, you know, no matter what people feel about him, his music truly displays the full range of emotion of a human being. You have those like trophies Drake, or started from the bottom Drake, but then you also have Marvin's Room, Trust Issues, Jaded, and then you have a song like Passion Fruit where he's being very like, there's such a range of emotion and narrative where it's like almost impossible not to resonate with at least one of his songs. But speaking on Marvin's Room specifically, it was dope for me as a teenager to hear that, because it's like, when you think of quote unquote rapper or just an established artist or whatever, they have quote unquote all this money, all this whatever, but then you come out with a song like that that's so human, that's so just, it was to me, because the message I got was like, this person has quote unquote everything that you could ever want, but is still feeling these very human emotions about this girl. Like, that's dope to me. Right. You know, and that really shifted my perspective towards writing, like write about, because everybody goes through that stuff. Right. So something that I talked about this in my last episode, where it was specifically about like suicide awareness, because that's what the month of September is about. And like what shifted for me, that got me out of like those thoughts. I was in a really bad relationship. That relationship with that rapper, man, it was crazy. Like it was like one day where I was just like, damn, I might hurt myself and I might want to hurt him too. And like it was just a super dark place. So I created this like playlist, and I named it Mental Health. I listen to it occasionally, just to not to remind myself of those times or those moments, but just to kind of like, not bad way of reminding me of it, but just to be like, damn, you overcame something. It was so dark in your life. And specifically, like there was like SZA's Good Days was
it changed my perspective on how I heard music.
Yeah.
Because, you know, everybody assumes somebody's talking about a lover or someone, like you're just talking about a lover in most of her songs. Like,
no, SZA's extremely, she's different.
Yo, like in Good Days, I hear it is like she's talking to a different version of herself.
Yes.
From when she was in a better space or when she was in these dark spaces. Because I think there's a line in there where like you're like this terrible version of yourself is just getting in the way of you having a good day.
That's
you know,
powerful.
like it sounds so simple because she says it in a way better way. But obviously like that to me was like, shit, like I'm letting this part of myself get in the way of me simply feeling okay today.
That's real.
And it changed my whole perspective on how I listen to music. So that entire playlist for me is just, I'm listening to it completely different. Like, so that's the first song on the playlist. I remember that for sure. And then there's Jhené Aiko, Triggered. Now that,
shout out
really
Jhené.
talking to myself for sure.
Shout out Jhené.
She really fucking did something with that. Like that was such an amazing song. I don't give a fuck what anybody has to say. They say it's a toxic song, but I believe it's her admitting to her fault.
Yeah.
Not even about somebody else, but like really genuinely herself, that past version of herself that she once was.
No, Janae's extremely intentional with everything she does.
Yes.
She is one of my favorite artists of this generation. I'm a huge supporter of Jhené because everything she does from the mental health aspect with her brand, the spiritual wellness, all of those different things. She embodies a lot of things that I grew up loving Erykah Badu for.
Yes.
She embodies a lot of those things.
Yes.
And I think that is so cool and so needed.
I think what I favor most is that she can be vulgar with her words but it's real, it's raw, it's authentic.
It's human.
Yeah, exactly. And you don't get that a lot from women, especially because women are just supposed to be, we're supposed to fit this specific box of like this pretty and perfect, you know, we don't use cuss words type of
like illusion.
Yeah, exactly. So that was number 2. And one, I don't remember the entire order, but there is another song. It's a totally different genre. It's an alternative song. Okay. You might have heard of Girl in Red. She's pretty popular. Girl in Red.
That's her name.
Yeah, it's literally her name.
Dang. I'm not familiar, but you can put me on.
She has a song called Serotonin.
I like that title.
And it goes crazy. 'Cause she's like, she's being so like honest about how she's feeling. Like it's like, trying to think of how it goes. I'm running low on serotonin. Chemical imbalance got me twisting things. And it's just basically saying like, I cannot fucking function without my medications. But when I'm on my medications, I'm so fucking numb to things. Now, I've never been medicated, but it's like to think like, damn, like you put, she talks about how she wants to like burn her hair off. She wants to, like she has all these intrusive thoughts that she has to find a way to control without having a chemical imbalance. So it like those songs like changed entirely how I felt about music and just how I listened and consumed it. And that's when I started like making my escape plan to like really leave my ex and like get out of that situation.
Escape plan is crazy.
Yo, it's crazy, and I can laugh about it now because it really had to be an escape plan, you know.
Salute to you for being able to evolve and do what's best for you.
I appreciate that, but that does also segue to my next question. Okay. So I know you said you kind of rebranded to be like an R&B artist. Have you ever thought about like shifting genres again, doing something like maybe even genre bending? Like I've got some friends that like they make reggaeton, but they do more rock style reggaeton. Okay. And I've watched a few artists, like some from like Brooklyn and the Bronx, who have like really genre bended, and they're working with really huge fucking artists now. And do you feel like that's something that you would ever find interest in doing? That's
I ain't gonna lie, you're really going crazy with these questions. But you're going crazy with these questions because so I'm glad you brought up genre bending because so I have this track on the way. It's called Boricua.
Okay.
Because my dad's from Cuba, so my Hispanic heritage is something that I take very seriously. You know, even though I don't necessarily look Hispanic.
Yo, that was crazy. I was literally gonna ask you because I heard some Spanish sprinkled in some of your songs.
Yes.
And I was like, I have to know. I have to know what extent your Spanish speaking abilities are. So
it's here and there.
Okay.
You know, I should know more. You know, being real, but you know, especially with my dad being from Cuba. But you know, I mean, I can make some casual conversation.
Nice.
I understand more than I can speak.
I get that
when it comes to that. But with the genre bending aspect, yeah, I got this song called Boricua where like I made the beat for it because I do produce.
Yeah.
And it's newer to me. I actually came into music as a producer. A lot of people don't know that. Before I even rapped on or sang on any beat, I was making beats to kind of like really get a feel for that side of music.
Yeah.
But I feel like my greatest inspirations, like a Kanye, A$AP Rocky, Party Next Door, they can make their own beats. Travis Scott, like they can make their own beats. They don't do it all the time, but they know what it takes to make one. So when they're on a record, how they approach melodies is going to be different than somebody who they are more so
just a vocalist.
Just a vocalist, right?
No offense to anyone that is.
Definitely no offense to that, but it's been a cheat code for me, right? So that song, the reason why I'm bringing up Boricua is because it's definitely it's like an Afro-fusion R&B reggaeton type vibe.
Okay.
We have a song, J Noir Cooked Up, that's another in that same lane. I know that one of my producer friends, Reality, we made this other song called Time Travel, where it has Afrobeat type vibe. And then honestly, the reason why I feel like I have so much freedom to make this melting pot of so many genres is because even in my bio on Instagram, I put alternative R&B artists. Because when it comes to alternative R&B, a little history on that, alternative R&B became prevalent, didn't start, but became prevalent in 2011 when we got The Weeknd, when we got SZA, when we got Party Next Door 2013, but in that same era,
even the internet,
oh, for sure.
I love me some Sid Bennett. I'm not gonna.
They're working. They got some stuff on the way. I heard.
And
that.
Did just dropped like on Friday. I think she dropped a single.
I gotta tap in with that.
Yeah.
I gotta tap in with that. Also, side note, I heard Bryson Tiller just dropped too.
Did he?
Definitely
wow.
He did a double album. The first part of it was in the summer. It was kind of like a little bit more trappy, bouncy, you know, him kind of just having fun.
Yeah.
Second half R&B. So definitely tap in with that.
Definitely have to.
But yeah, reason why I'm really hanging my hat on alternative R&B because it allows me to really do whatever I want, I feel. Because no disrespect to contemporary R&B artists, but I feel like they have mindset of have to be so traditional. I have to be such in alignment with what we grew up R&B to be.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a shackle.
Yeah.
I feel like is going to, or for me, I feel as though that doesn't, me trying to be Maxwell D'Angelo, you know, that doesn't serve me because they already exist and they've already done what they've done.
Right.
That's not my goal with music. My biggest goal with music, I mean, quick side note, like I had a friend who wanted to make music, but he passed away.
I'm sorry.
No, I appreciate that. Like he never got to release a song. He never got to any of that, you know? So like my biggest ambition to take music, fashion, creativity, every aspect of my brand to the highest pinnacle and beyond for the simple fact that I'm alive and able-bodied to do so.
Right.
You know, so I can't limit myself. I can't put any self-imposed barriers on my creativity because what if me doing this alternative song with Willow takes me to a whole different demographic that takes me to the #1 charts? Or what if me putting out this R&B project but rapping on the outro gets me different listeners where their ears are a little bit different and they now see the vision, but if I never experiment it, that doesn't happen. Or if I never rebrand into R&B, like you gotta just try stuff.
Yeah.
If you don't try stuff, then you're staying in your comfort zone, and if you're in your comfort zone, you're not growing.
Right, exactly. I agree with you.
Thank you.
So you said the song is called Boricua.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming, so your dad is Cuban.
Yeah.
So you have some Puerto Rican heritage in there.
No, Cuban. Well, my dad's from Cuba, so I'm technically half Cuban.
Okay.
Well, not technically, I am half Cuban. And my mom's from here, but their song's called Boricua because there was this girl
Oh, okay.
That I was, yeah, because Boricua is
Gotcha.
Puerto Rican slang for a beautiful woman
Yeah.
that's Puerto Rican, right?
Yeah.
And melanated or whatever.
Right.
And yeah, it was this girl, and she did me kind of bogus.
Yeah.
And you know, it is what it is, right?
Damn.
I personally, instead of me being who I used to be,
Yeah.
and kind of like petty, get back, da da da, like no, forget that. I get back. First of all, I'm not gonna unfollow you or block you. I want you to watch me evolve. I want you to watch me move on.
Yeah.
For number one. Number two, I'm gonna make a dope ass song about it, and people are gonna love it. And because that's what you're supposed to do.
Right.
Like life imitates art imitates
Right.
life. Like
Right.
all of my music, straight journal entries. All of my music is straight up things I've went through with women. That's my whole brand as far as a writer. Like all of it is situations that I've gone through, and I might edit one or two things just to make it rhyme.
Right.
But for like the 98% of it is just me just being extremely, honestly, absurdly transparent. With all of my art. And so when people reach out and they say they like it or they resonate with it or they went through something like that, or like, oh, I love this song, this, that, third, like it hits different.
Yeah.
It hits different because I'm just venting.
Yeah.
I'm just making it rhyme, you know, and I love it.
I love that. You said that a lot of your songs are really just about, all of them are about experiences. And I love that you used the term journal entries, because that is how I like to look at my podcast and what I talk about. They are journal entries of my own, because it all started from when I was going through a lot of shit in that relationship to where I was going crazy. I didn't know what was real and what was just the gaslighting. So I couldn't tell what was my reality and what was just what he was telling me. And so I would sit in the car and just video record myself, because I couldn't. Sometimes you have so many thoughts, I can't really write it all down at once. And I didn't want to keep a journal because he would find it. And with like video entries, I can still hide it in my photo album.
Oh my gosh, that is extensive, but so necessary.
I know, isn't it crazy?
What was his sign, if you don't mind me?
He was a Leo too. That's the fucked up part.
How the fuck do you do that?
I don't even know.
We don't do our own sign.
We cannot.
That's not how that goes.
It was the biggest. It was honestly one of the biggest mistakes.
Whoa, how long were you with him?
We were together for about 5 years. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was a really long relationship.
Wow.
We were literally 3 days apart to the T, born in the same hospital. It was crazy. It was sort of meant to, I don't want to say it like that, but it was meant to happen, because I needed to learn. I needed to learn so much from that.
Of course.
And those video entries was what did it for me. I was like, well, what the fuck? Like, if I'm going to make these video journal entries to myself, what if, and I use them to remind myself when things are going amazing, and because there's ups and downs in relationships, especially in toxic relationships. When it's in the up, you forget how low things are. So those video entries, those video entries are what reminded me, you're feeling up now, but don't forget how low he made you feel.
We romanticize those moments.
Exactly.
Because of familiarity.
Exactly. So I was like, all right, this is how I'm going to plan my way to leave. And then, of course, like I started taking therapy more serious as well at the time. And I actually had to go to therapy in secret, because I didn't want him to know.
Wow.
Because I knew that it was going to change who I was and how I view this relationship.
It did for me too.
And he started to notice things. I think I started standing up for myself.
Which is great.
I will never forget the first time he noticed it. And he was like, what man got you thinking like that? What man got you talking all crazy like that? And I was like, there is no man. I was like, that's just me.
Right.
Because he didn't know. He never knew that I was going to therapy. And it was because of my therapist at the time and these video entries that I was able to build up the courage to start to stand up for myself and not allow him to walk all over me constantly. And it was just so funny, because I knew that as soon as he figured out that something changed in me, he would accuse me of cheating. It's such a cycle. You know them so well, but you forget sometimes. So those video entries is what made me want to start my podcast and really talk about it, because every single time I record something, every single time I put something out there to the world, even if it's cringe as a bitch and I listen to it later on and I'm like, oh my God, this is so cringy. At least I did it, and I have a message in that. That's a reminder to me. That's a reminder I wanted that message to also be a reminder to everyone else that might be going through some experiences that are similar or whatever the case is. You can resonate so much of what the message is to any situation you have. So I feel like everything is just, it's all the same. Every relationship that you have is also how you move in the world in general. So you also have to reflect it in that way. So, because something I learned when it came to going through domestic violence situations, October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month as well.
Word.
So going through those experiences, talking to those advocates, they're not victim blaming, but they do give you this shift in perspective. It's not even if you're just a domestic violence victim. Let's rethink, what is it within you that is attracting someone like that? Why do you keep attracting someone like that?
Yeah.
And maybe it's time to understand yourself more and understand your own patterns.
Right.
So that you don't keep putting yourself in those situations.
That's a different level of accountability for self. That's a different level of inner work, and you are what you attract to a certain level. Even though this partner that you're attracting is different, of course, like they're not you, but there's something in you that's creating a space that's like, you're attracting a manipulator for a reason, right? I'm not taking anything away from the person that quote unquote gets manipulated.
Right.
But if there's a trend of the type of person you're attracting, there has to be something done inside so that you can create new and stronger boundaries.
Exactly.
So that you get these walls of Jericho going.
Yes.
Because if not, they just going to keep disrespecting you.
Exactly. So that's always been the message in the narrative and in the podcast is, it's not that I want to give a perpetrator the voice to share their experiences or their stories, but it's also like, we have to also look at it as the full experience in itself. I went through those experiences because I was still a broken person within me. He caught me at the right time. I talk about this often. My dad had just passed away when we first started dating. Thank you. And so I'm like young, I'm going through a lot. He was just able to catch me at the right time. And then realizing I obviously had a lot of childhood wounds that I needed to work through. And then it was a lot. But I am a much better person now. It's been 4 years, and genuinely from the bottom of my heart, I hope he's doing way better. Because obviously the situation just wasn't good for either of us.
Right.
And I would never want him to, like, me leaving that situation wasn't just for me. It was for me, but it was also, damn, this can't be all for you. Not saying that, I don't know what he deserves, but he just, whatever we had just wasn't what neither of us deserved. Right. So that's also a part of why I don't really branch out too often in Milwaukee, because he was so heavily rooted in the creative scene there, and it's burned a lot of bridges for me. So starting fresh somewhere, coming to Chicago gives me a breath of fresh air. I can feel a lot less like I'm not walking into a space as his ex. I'm walking into these spaces as myself.
That's real.
So
that's real.
So that's a little bit about my experiences with like just the journal entry thing. And I used to write music, and I still want to make music.
You should.
I still do once in a while. I think I had some inspiration sometime last year, but I hadn't stepped into a studio in years.
What kind of music would you do? I
used to want to make R&B, but I really love alternative R&B. But I'm also really finding... So I started singing really young. It's always been a thing in my household. And my mom, she can sing. And my uncles can sing. My uncle actually is in a cover band that tours.
That's dope.
And so my family's always had some musical ability. And so I wanted to pursue it from, I think when Chris Brown first came out, I was probably 10. And like, he was the reason I even started singing for real. And I was like, dang, I actually sound pretty good. And I was like, I started writing music, and then I actually went to high school of the arts in Milwaukee as a vocal major.
That's super dope.
So it was something I took so serious for a while. And then in high school, I really went through a lot of depression, and I started losing motivation to even want to continue anything. And so I stopped making music. And at some point, I thought about, after high school, moving out to LA with my sister and pursuing music again, or even just trying to figure out how to do it on my own even. And I never really went for it, because I lost myself in relationships, and I was like, this is unrealistic. And then my dad was also sick. Right. So it was just also something that I just put on the back burner. And I thought about starting it again, but I think I fell in love so much with like, my passion for the message that I have with my journalism and podcast, that music, if it happens.
I feel like you should. I'm going to be very real. Something in my intuition is telling me there's a song in there
I have
not a song, not even just a song. There is a narrative in there, and you have no idea who you might bless with, because the things you've gone through, you have no idea. There might be a little girl out there who needs to hear that in a song form.
Right. And that's exactly.
Still do the pod.
Yes.
There's this indie artist, I forget his name, but I consider him one of the quote unquote like, four horsemen of independent artists. I remember his name. So what I mean by the four horsemen of independent artists, you have Chance, of course, right? But you also have Russ. You also have Brent Faiyaz.
Yep.
And then you also have Nick D. Nick D is the person I'm talking about. So Nick D, he came into music as a photographer. He used to do videographer more. So he used to do footage for weddings, things like that. And he was not, quote unquote, the atypical age. He was like maybe 27 or whatever. And he starts, he had lost his house, him and his wife, mind you, married too. So like, all these things that, quote unquote, a rapper shouldn't be, right? And this white dude from wherever, and he's a videographer, and he's married, like super religious, super serious about that, all these different things. He starts putting out music, but the beauty of it, it was in the recent era. So it's in the content creation era. That's another thing. We're in a content creation era. Prior to the content creation era of music, you had the SoundCloud era, where it's like you can put out a song with just a cover art and you're good. You didn't have to have visuals. The reason why I got away with doing somewhat similar recently is because I actually have a visualizer on YouTube, and plus I also model, so I was really just sending out literally hundreds of DMs to all of my homegirls, like, yo, check this out or whatever, right? And I did an aesthetic rollout. We'll get the cover art, and then you got the collab post with me and the muse, and then you have the solo, and then after that, I'm very strategic with the rollout. But I say all that to say, what made Nick D prosper was that he already knew how to do visuals. He just needed to make good music, right? So he figures that out, and it just made sense. And it's crazy because on paper, a guy like that doesn't make music on paper. If he was in the 90s, that could never happen, whatever, right? But like, he just said, forget it, I'm gonna do it. He moved back in, him and his wife moved back into his mom's crib, stacked up money. It was not the ideal situation, but one thing I've been praying for lately, I pray for discernment all the time. And the message I've been getting lately is don't wait for the perfect moment, make this moment perfect.
Right.
Make this moment perfect. And I say all that to say, to go back to you, he has a podcast completely separate from what he does musically. And his podcast is a whole separate entity. Not same name, still goes by Nick D in that space, but he has a podcast, but is also a touring artist.
Damn.
So this is not by coincidence I'm bringing this up to you. You should. You got my support.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
I feel like you should. I feel really dope.
I appreciate that. And I was really venturing into all avenues recently because I worked corporate for like 10 years. And
that goes.
I was at a job for 5 years and I got laid off this year.
I'm sorry to hear that.
And so that's when I started bartending, and then I started really pushing out pod, and that's when I started coming out to Chicago. And I'm like, I'm taking every chance I can because I don't know where it's going to lead me. But I was like, maybe I should start making music, and because it's something that I've always wanted to do. But as I explore more of my voice and my vocal abilities, I don't want to just do just R&B. I really love, I think everyone from my generation can relate, like Paramore.
Come on, let's go.
That is my heart and soul.
I feel like you finna be on some Willow. She's one of my favorite artists right now. She can do everything.
Meet Me at Our Spot is one of my go-to karaoke songs.
What you know about that?
That is such a good fucking song.
That's a great project.
Yes, and lately I've been exploring more. I'm not saying I'm a really great singer and I can sing as great as Adele, but Adele is a really, just the way she projects her voice, those are the kind of songs that I've learned that work the best with me and my voice. And I think also I have to get used to my singing voice now because I haven't really taken music serious since I was in high school. And your voice changes a lot as you age. It does. And I had a hard time. I remember being so frustrated in high school. I would cry to my best friend about how I couldn't hit these notes anymore. And I used to be higher soprano, and now I'm like, I'm transitioning down into like more of a soprano 2, or I think that's what it is.
Or alto.
I'm still not that low yet, but it was so hard for me to accept that I couldn't hit a super high note anymore. But now I'm like, I can sing better. I can sing other songs that just project my voice better, a lower pitch, and it works really well. So I've been exploring a lot with more alternative music. Personally, when I was growing up, I grew up around I grew up very diverse. A lot of my friends, even my family, and so we grew up with a lot of freestyle music, and I would want to fuck with that. So that was gonna be a secret of mine. Like if I was to drop music, I wanted to make freestyle music, but it's hard to find people that will make beats for me, freestyle beats for me. That's my type of shit. You know, that early 90s pop disco, but R&B mixed to it.
That's unique as fuck. So that'd be really cool.
That is the type of stuff I would really want to see resurface. Yeah. And it's not really my place to resurface that music, but it is a huge inspiration for me. And because it really came from, the roots of it came from the Bronx and Brooklyn, and it came from New York, because a lot of Puerto Rican and Dominican
for sure
people at the city of, in New York City, but they specifically had to kind of genre bend because R&B wasn't always entirely accepted. If it's something that wasn't super close to what was popularized in that era, like I think like a disco era, like Madonna era.
Oh yeah.
You know, they took a lot of the disco sound and meshed it with R&B to create this freestyle genre. And that's why I would never want to take it from them, because that would be my place. But it is something that has inspired me a lot in my life.
It wouldn't be taking it though. It's just inspo.
Yeah.
You know, and just that fusion. I've never heard anyone articulate that. Like that's a really cool just concept to fuse those cultures together, those sonics together.
Yeah.
I feel like you're the person to do it. Like, why not?
I took a lot of time. Like when I do things, I sit there and I'll research things. Like I spent time this summer really researching where freestyle really came from and like what true background of it is. And so yeah, like it was some stuff that I really fell in love with, and that's something that I do plan to do. I have my hands in so many things right now.
Right.
And I'm like,
very Leo of you.
It is.
I get it. No,
and
trust
I'm like,
me, I get it.
Let me just focus on a few things that I have going on right now. Like I want to really stick with the nonprofit world that I'm kind of venturing into.
Right.
And music it's always going to be something that I do just simply out of the fun and the love of it.
Right.
So I don't want to put too much pressure on like, I need to force myself to make music. But I feel like if I started with anything, it would be a theme song for the podcast.
There you go.
I still don't have one, so I might as well start with that, right? But yeah, so yeah, aside from all that about myself, so with you having your hands in a lot of things, how do you kind of manage that? Do you like who do you have on your team that's like, you know, keeping you in line and making sure you're getting the resources that you need and executing?
So another phenomenal question, honestly. So as of recently, I'd have to say the main voice of reason on the team is my photographer. So Jasmine Seda, super dope. She's super dope. She recently got married to my boy, who he's one of the producers on the team as well. I love them.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I'm so happy for them. And she is crazy. I recently gave her my, so I had a creative director on the team. Still very much a great friend of mine. She's like a little sister. You know, she's a Leo too. I actually credit a lot of the polishing of my brand to her.
Nice.
Like she took, because when I first met her, it was really just a black and white aesthetic and some moody pics.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what I was doing. I wasn't modeling yet.
Yeah.
She took the rawness and really, and it's crazy because when I first met her, I was only doing like collabs with girls, like a couple things here and there solo, but there wasn't a clear vision. There were no mood boards. There were no, you know, all these different things. She really chiseled it and really fine tuned it aesthetically. And then by the time I met Jasmine, she added the business part. She's the part of the team where she's so structured. She's so like, what's the itinerary? Did you follow up with her? Did you this, da da da? Like all these different things. Like she wears so many hats on the team, and I confidently give her those roles because I know she's capable of executing at a high professional industry level. You know, she's amazing. What is it? So when it comes to just making sure that like even certain moments where, like, full transparency, because she's very much like a sister to me. Like, so like there was a moment in the summer where I was just honestly just too focused on women, and she checked me.
Yeah.
She was like, dude, what are we doing? You know? And I need that sometimes.
Right.
I need that sometimes. Sometimes I need that, yo, like, we're running a business, bro.
Yeah.
Let's roll. Let's go. Like, you got girls lined up for months. When are we filming? When are we doing the photo shoot? When are we do this? Like we have everything we need as a team. Like, I can confidently say, like, we have everything we need. The only thing that's not on the team right now is a manager. And at the moment, I don't feel like I need a manager yet. Because there's a rule of thumb where when it comes to being an independent artist, like, don't employ someone to do something that you don't know how to do.
Ooh.
That is a prime entrepreneurship, like, business acumen skill. Like, before I hired a videographer, I learned how to edit. I know what I'm commissioning him to do. There's no way you can finesse me. Like, right. I know exactly. Like, I remember with my previous videographer, we would do a filming. He'd send me the raw footage, and I would mark it up like it's a red piece of paper. What I mean by that, or like it's like red on a document. What I mean by that is, like, he'll send me the raw footage. I'd be like, okay, timestamp 002 to timestamp 0015. I need that cropped out. I need this transition here. Because I know how to do it myself.
Right.
But I want him to do it.
Yeah.
I'm leveraging time. Because while he's doing that, I'm at rehearsals. While I'm doing that, and that's I look at a team different. Because I can do it all myself. I'm not going to. I shouldn't have to. I'm going to check my ego and be like, no, employ and put people in certain positions that excel in that's one specific thing or multiple things, but they excel at that task, and trust them.
Yeah.
You have to trust somebody.
Right.
You know, and give them that role, let them do it so that you have more time freedom to write songs. So I have more time freedom to be in a fashion show and then go perform musically and go, like, I have to physically be at so many places and then making the money to do it, all these other things. It's like, I need people that can do the other stuff. That is
great advice, because I don't hear that enough, because I'm always looking for that as well, as like that advice. So everyone always just says, you know, you just got to find the right people, and it's like, but how do you even know to find the right people? Like, you know, I have a hard time sticking with just one camera person, or even just finding someone that's willing to do these things with me. And like, I know the chemistry has to be there for sure, but knowing that I can do this myself, like, it does help. It does help.
It adds a filter on who you put in that position, because it's like, when it comes to building a team, it kind of just happens in a way. Now, don't get me wrong, the team today is not the team that I first originally built in 2023. The roles are actually it's expanded, so there's more roles on the team now. But at the same time, you attract them. You attract them. You go to networking events, you go to fashion shows, you go early, you leave late. You know, you go to these events, you present yourself as your best self, and you attract it. You really do, because I didn't go out seeking these people. I just knew I needed that.
Yeah.
I knew I needed it. Like, when I started fashion in 2023, I immediately built a team. I immediately was like, no, I know music. I didn't know that at that time. Like, I know, don't get me wrong, fashion lore, like, I'm a fashion nerd. Like, I love fashion. Like, I could talk that all day. But when it came to being in it, is different. Like, I feel like people get it confused a lot of times, especially fashion enthusiasts who are not actively in fashion. Like, they kind of misconstrue certain things. Like, when I first started modeling, I'm like, no, I need a model coach. I need a creative director. I need people on my team that can see what I don't see.
Yeah.
They have to be able to see what I don't see, because it's like, at the end of the day, I had to check my ego. So I'm like, yo, no, I'm extremely, extremely ambitious, extremely focused when it comes to anything that I do. So when I stepped into fashion, I'm like, nah, I gotta go off, right? Yeah. So I hired my homegirl, Mia. Shout out Mia. I hope she's doing well. we still converse all the time. I know she's busy. She's in the Air Force and all this crazy stuff.
Nice.
But thank you for your service, Alyssa. I remember when we first linked up, she just get it. Like she just really gets my vision. This whole like mysterious, high fashion, like enigma that I've created. Yeah. Right. But she wasn't my first model coach. My first model coach, funny story. So I just got out of this interesting relationship. Right. It was like 2023. I was in this open relationship. It didn't go right because of me. I take responsibility for that. Communication. I just was not as communicative as I am now. If I had that level of communication that I have now, then whole different story. Right. But that was previous self, you know, slightly whatever, right? So that goes left. But that whole situation, I would see these posts on Instagram. This dude, he got no name drop, but like he used to make music. Now he's a photographer. And I would see that he throws events. And I'm like, I'm gonna go to one of those one day. You know, I would save him, you know, and that relationship ends. And I remember during that situation, she would tell me like, yo, you should model. I'm thinking, like, you gassing me. You're tweaking, right? Like, no, not me, right? Like, you know, and what's crazy is I had just, because at the end of that 3-year relationship I was in prior to that, because I'm ex-athlete, right? I had never been big and I had never been overweight or whatever, right? I was in high school, I was like 230 max. Yeah. At the end of that 3-year relationship, I was like 273. Super alcoholic, super depressed, all these crazy things, or whatever. I looked at myself in the mirror. I'm like, yo, I didn't like how I felt. Forget how I looked. I hated how I felt. You know, just very low, very heavy. I was like, okay, forget it. You know, my friend had passed away the same year that the girl I was with, we break up. I thought I was going to marry her. I told my dad I was going to be the mother of my kids. Like, it was like we were locked in or whatever, right? That goes left. So I'm looking in the mirror. I'm like, yo, bro, bro, lock in. This is for you now. Yeah. This is for, like, of course, you know, it's still for my homie that's no longer here. But it's like, no one's around to give you that pat on the back or like, yo, like you have to be that for you now. Right. I locked in. I completely changed my diet. I, you know, started doing all these extreme workouts, all this, whatever. Fast forward, 210 pounds, give or take. And I completely just transformed for myself to be who I need to be. And I go to this networking event, fashion event. I ain't gonna lie, it was super dope. Like, it was an event where, like, essentially you walk in, there's photo booths, but like backdrops in multiple different parts of the room. And a room full of people, like maybe 50, 60 people, give or take. And like, they're all conversing, having a good conversation or whatever. But like, let's say I bump into you, let's say you model. And we kind of vibe, we're just feeling each other's energy. And like, yo, you want to like work right now? You want to like, you know, yeah. And I'll be like, sure. And we'll literally just have an improv photo shoot right there. Yeah. Right. And all of it's free for the simple fact that the photographers are there just to build their portfolio. Right. Or not build their portfolio, but to expand their clientele. Yeah. And the models are there to build their portfolio and network. Yeah. And when this photographer is taking pics of you, they're sending it to you for free, edited. But let's say you like that, you're probably going to book them for something paid after that. So it was just genius. Like, I'm going to be real. Like, that person that was doing that was really bringing the city out. It was really dope. A lot of my core homegirls in fashion, like, these are like my little sisters. Like, I met them during his events. And those events used to really give me, that was my jump start into fashion. And first one I went to, I bumped into this model. We did like photos, whatever. She's super cool. Shout out Aaliyah Farrell. She took me to the side afterwards, and after we took pics, she was like, yo, like, you know, you got the look for this, like, you know, this, that, third, give me my flowers. But she was like, how serious do you want to take this? Like, how serious? So I kind of told her about myself, you know, about my friend passing and all this. Like, I'm like, yo, like, no, this is everything. Like, I'm very focused on this. And she's like, okay, I'm about to head back to Atlanta. I have time for a consultation. It had to be over Zoom and it had to be paid, but I will give you the information you need. I'm like, yo, let's go. You know, I move with the mentality of nobody owes me anything. Even if I pay them, like, nobody owes me anything at all. No one has to listen to my music. No one has to comment on my post. No one has to like. No one has to view anything that I do. No one owes me anything. So when people do show up for me in that way for those things, I have the utmost gratitude because I know that they don't owe me that.
Yeah.
Right? We have the consultation. She gives me all the sauce.
Yeah.
She's like, yo, go to networking events, go to fashion shows, even if you're not in them.
Right.
Go early, leave late. Go on Pinterest, find your niche, make mood boards. Like, she gave me all the sauce. I literally still have that paper I wrote. I took notes. I took very copious notes during that meeting, and I still have them pinned up in my crib.
That's crazy.
Because it was really mind-blowing, because those things still hold true to today.
Yeah.
And I'm so grateful. Like, she was only my model coach for that a short period of time.
Right.
But that led me into working with Mia. Mia helped me fine-tune it. And now I'm working with Jazz. And I'm going to be working with Jasmine for the rest of my career. I'm very confident with what we're building. Just this year alone has been insane.
Yeah.
She just gets it. So
yeah.
I'm grateful.
That's amazing. Yeah, I mean, you had mentioned that you had walked in New York Fashion Week, which is freaking amazing.
Thank you.
I definitely want to hear about that experience as well. And, you know, like, I kind of just do love fashion, for sure.
Yeah.
But I
very fashionable yourself.
Thank you. I just kind of fell into it in the Chicago scene, I think, at least. I met the right people, I guess, at a random event, and now they do content days all the freaking time. And, you know, that's the perfect place. Like, you know, the last content day that they had in August when we met.
Yeah.
Like, I enjoyed it, of course. Like, I enjoy content days, and I'm so grateful for them.
Yeah.
And I love that they always make space for me with, like, my pod.
That is really cool, actually.
I just think that it is great, but it's also a perfect space for someone who's actually pursuing modeling. Like, anything that I do as far as quote unquote modeling, it's just on print, and it's literally just because I have an idea. Like, I want to put these pieces together, and I want to tell a story in this shoot.
But your work is dope, though. Like, don't say it's just print or anything like that. Like, I've seen your IG. You have a unique aesthetic, a unique look, and you
appreciate it.
You take your emotions and truly embody it in your poses and like everything. Like, you're dope. Like, don't take that away from yourself.
I appreciate it, because I really do take a lot of time to like sit and think of the smallest things. Like, when it comes to like even the photo shoots I've done with the digital photo shoots that I've done with a recent photographer, that I'm creative director. Nice. I'm the one coming up with the ideas and the concepts, and I'm the one thinking of all the little things like the props and the setting, and like I'm trying to tell a story within those photo shoots. Like, I don't want to just do a photo shoot just to say I did a photo shoot. Like, I actually want to tell a story. Yeah. Like, my laundromat photo shoot.
That was wavy.
That one went crazy. But I was like, but, you know, understand the story is like, you remember being a kid, we wake up early as hell on Saturday morning. Facts. My mom made me, she's like, we're gonna go to the corner store, you can get your snacks there. We're gonna go to the grocery store, you get your snacks there. We all live the same life. Yes, and we got the whole car packed up with laundry. Yeah. We're gonna be there all freaking day. She's not about to give us no extra quarters to go to the vending machine, for sure. And so your ass is, because we might just need that for the broke ass dryers that are there. Man. So we're gonna spend our whole day there doing all our laundry, and you're gonna eat these snacks and all the food that I packed for you. And that was a story I wanted to tell with the laundromat thing. That's why I'm like, let's start with the corner store. Yeah. From the corner store to the laundromat. Like, that is the story that I envisioned as far as like that photo shoot. Yeah. And they look great. Obviously, like those were fire as fuck. Like, he really did his thing with that. But then I feel like when I start to work with certain photographers, they start to lose the vision, because I get like, you're literally just there to snap pictures because I've already done all the creative direction. Like, I already have all the vision in mind. So like, I'm sorry that I take that away from someone, but I also give them somewhat of creative freedom to like, however you want to edit. I'm usually pretty flexible about it. We discuss how we want to post it. Right. But then I start to see, like, there's certain things that I don't like. Like, I don't like when my face doesn't match the rest of my body. If you're modifying, you know, like, there's certain things that I don't like. But that all comes with, like, experience, you know? And not only do I care about, like, just, like, the small details. Like, I don't know, some people did, like, when I did my laundromat shoot, this isn't even a big deal. But, like, I had on the Rihanna Fenties, right? Okay. We had tagged we tagged her brand. They liked it and
that's dope.
They shared it on their fucking story.
Yo, nah, hold on. Moment of silence. Hold on, wait. What?
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm like 3 seconds.
That was crazy.
That is a huge accolade.
I know.
That's crazy.
And it was off the strength of...
Congratulations.
Thank you. It was literally just off the strength of me wearing just the shoes.
Yeah.
Just the shoes. And I'm like, that's the statement piece I wanted to really like highlight, because sneakers were always like a huge thing for me. And I love Fenties because not a lot of people were on that wave for a minute. Until recently. But that was always my thing, and like that was huge for me. I was like, damn, there's no fucking way that they liked my shit and shared it on their story. Like,
yeah, that is fire. That's not light.
That was crazy.
That's not light. It's huge.
When you reach certain things like that, it's kind of hard to, like, for me, I get scared that I will never be able to recreate that same level of hype again. Cause I've tried.
That's so real.
Like, I be trying, and I'm like, damn, what did I do this time? Like, how did I get to that? How did I get their attention just this one time? And I'm like, but I gotta keep pushing it. Like, I gotta keep putting. I don't know. It gets a little discouraging when you reach a certain high, and you're like, damn, how am I gonna reach that, or even go further than that, right?
Supersede it, yeah.
So, not to make you feel all discouraged or anything, but like, what's next in store for you? You got New York Fashion Week.
I love that question.
How did that go? Like, what's the next, what's the next big thing for you?
I love that. So, to answer the first part of the question, so with New York, extremely crazy. It opened my eyes when it came to just like what I'm worthy of, and it's just a different energy out there. Like, I remember after rehearsals for the show, I'm connecting with these models. Like, it just feels like I had known them my whole life. Like, it was just how quick we just gelled. Like, it was just great chemistry, great energy, great people. And I remember, like, it was this one moment. So we're all outside the building we were rehearsing at. One of my homegirls was like, "Yo, it's crazy. She actually ended up being from Chicago. Shout out Trish."
Nice.
But she's like, "Yo, I got this spot at this Sheridan. Da da da. Like, let's go do drinks." So I'm like, "Okay, bet." So we're all walking. We bump into this other group of models. They're vlogging, mind you. I have my vlog videographer with me, so we're vlogging. We see them, but first thing we see is her outfit. Fire. We're like, "Yo, fit check, yeah." Like, it was like pandemonium just over her outfit.
Yeah.
And then one of my homegirls had went up to her like, "Yo, you should walk." Like, "Yo, go walk, do your model walk." She's walking. We're hyping her up like, "Yo," like just cheering for her. We just met her, right?
Yeah.
Mind you, she's from Paris. Like, she came all the way here just for New York Fashion Week. Crazy networking, right? So she's doing her thing, and then one of my homegirls bumps me like, "Yo, hey, you go next, you go." I'm like, okay. I walk. It's like 30 to 40 girls just cheering for just me walking in a straight line.
Why?
Like, this is not the show. This was just the streets of New York,
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here in my mind, I'm like, yo, these are some of the most authentic, genuine individuals I've ever met in my life. This was like, we've known each other for 30 minutes. Like, it was crazy, right? Just like that level of showing up for somebody. And then the show happens, and then after the show, I had made this group chat of just like all the people that I met or whatever. Yeah. And I'm like, "Yo, we gotta," like, it was my last night in New York. So I'm like, "Yo, we gotta pop out, is that there or whatever." I throw this first event where I wanted to make sure, because I had popped out that same night, the one we, after rehearsal, super dope. It was like this rooftop, penthouse, whatever. Anything I went to, I made sure, whether it's on Posh, Eventbrite, Event Noir, whatever it was, I made sure that it said New York Fashion Week after party. I didn't want to just go to a random party, because that's not why I'm in New York.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm here to network, I'm here to grow, I'm here to expand. So that one was dope. That one was super cool. But the one after our show, oh my gosh. So originally we were going to go to this one. I was throwing it around in the group chat. Some of my homegirls was like, "Yo, they're charging 40 at the door." Da, da, da. I'm like, all right, fine. I'll find something else, right? So I find something else, and I drop it in the chat. It was free RSVP for a limited time. In my mind, that so many green flags. I'm like, okay, no, that's going to be legit. Like, whatever. Yeah. Everybody RSVPs, they slide. Two of my homeboys, they pull up before me. Line, kid you not, line was like Raging Bull Six Flags.
Jesus.
American Eagle Six Flags. Like, it was like a crazy line. The line intimidated some of the people in the group chat. They were like, nah, they're gonna go home, whatever. My intuition was like, bro, pull up anyway.
Yeah.
Stay with me. This is where the story gets fired. I pull up. Mind you, as I'm pulling up, I got the rental, whatever, something chill. I pull up. I'm looking at this line. My intuition was like, bro, change fits. Because we had just checked out of the hotel not long ago.
Yeah.
I got all the suitcases in the trunk.
Yeah.
So I got my wardrobe there. So I'm like, yo, my whole theme for New York Fashion Week 2025 was like fur. Every outfit had like an essence of fur. I love fur.
Yeah.
Some of my favorite pieces in my wardrobe, I upped a decent change for my fur. I love my minks, all of that, whatever. Because it's like a statement, you know? Like, it's kind of like a, what's up, you know?
And, you know, like, it could be the simplest outfit, right? Like, you can go all black, but when you throw something that's like a furry black hat or some shit, it throws a little texture in there and it makes it a little bit more multi-dimensional. Like, it's the smallest things. I fuck with it.
What I love the most about fur is, like, I kind of, this, like, conqueror energy. Because, like, I look back at, because I write creative stories, complete side note. I write, like, stories and stuff. Eventually, I'm going to come out with my own video games. And it's, like, when I look at, like, mythology, and, like, you look at, like, Hercules, or, like, these warriors, they're wearing not just fur, but the fur of something they slain.
Right.
So when I look at fur, I look at it like, I'm a survivor. I am a warrior. I am a this, like a power pose type energy. So I say all that to say, so I put on the fur, right? So I put the fur on, but I'm in the back of the line. I'm like, yo, this is not where I'm supposed to be with this fit. I'm like, what's going on? So one of my homegirls she just pulled up with some dude. I'm like, I don't know the dude, whatever. But dude comes up to me. He's like, yo, I talked to the dude at the front of the line, the bouncer. He's like, yo, for the models, if you got models with you, if you have enough of them, you can skip the line. I'm like, bro, I got 10 models with me, 20's on the way. Like, what's up? I'm like, bro, what's up? I go to the front of the line. I'm like, I skip. Like, I didn't skip just yet. I wanted to kind of barter with him.
Yeah.
So I tell the bouncer, I'm like, yo, I'm modeled in this show. I got 10 of my homegirls with me. I got like the group chat is on the way. So I'm like, yo, I got like 20 girls on the way. Like, yo, what's up? He's like, all right, hold on, you wait right here. He leaves out. He brings the owner out. I can't make this stuff up. He brings the owner out. The owner's like, what show did you walk in? I'm like, yeah. Like, I'm telling him no. He's like, oh, okay. Hey, all of them with you? I'm like, yup.
That's crazy.
Gives me wristband. The aura.
That's
this
insane.
Was so nuts. We get escorted through. We're moving the crowd like Moses. We're going through here. We're getting ushered through. He takes us to this elevator. We go down like maybe 4 or 5 floors. We get down there. It's streamers in there. International models, Paris, Milan, Italy, celebs. I'm like, yo,
insane.
What is happening? Right? Mind you, while that's going on, my homegirls, I had just dropped it in my chat. I'm like, yo, because some people had just left or whatever, right? I'm like, yo, if you pull up right now, I can get y'all in VIP. Like, slide. Everyone's like, what? Like, everybody pulls up, whatever.
Crazy.
So I'm walking back out. I'm like, yo, I go out there. And I'm like, yo, is anybody here for Lazo skis? Da, da, da. Mad extra. Like, I'm at this point, I'm in my ego. Like, I'm like, yo, I'm catching these looks. Da, da, da. I'm loving every second of it. I don't care. Like, I'm like, yo, this is my moment. I don't care. Like, so I was letting some of my homegirls through.
Yeah.
It was cool. It was to the point to where, like, when I was in VIP, like, I took the party over. Like, I'm in there. It was certain girls who, like, they were waiting in line to get in VIP.
Yeah.
And, like, I'm peeping them, peeping me. Like, I'm kind of like, we're, like, having this eye moment.
Yeah.
And the bouncer was, like, trying to, like, kind of feel him. Like, yo, who are you here for? Da, da, da. I'm like, nah, they here with me. Da, da, da. Like, didn't even know. I'm like, nah, they here with me. Yeah. So I was like, yo, what's that? Like, I just loved every energy of it. Like, the level of respect models get in New York is just different. Like, like they're treated like celebrities just because you model. Yeah. Right? In Chicago, I love, like, first and foremost, I love Chicago. I love my city. Yeah. Like, there's nothing that like Chicago, right? But it's when it comes to you have a craft, you gotta go where the work is.
Yeah.
Right? Like there's a lot of work in Chicago for modeling. But I'm extremely ambitious. Like my goals, you ask me what's next, like I'm gonna be real, getting my passport and stamping it up. Like really my goal is to get international, like to really expand beyond the States. Because when I think fashion, like as soon as I open my phone, my vision board is Paris. My vision board is, don't get me wrong, New York is the fashion capital of the planet. So I'm not looking at, the next step is to go overseas and forget New York. No, my whole goal is, how do I desire to go back to New York? Yeah. What do I desire to have on my belt when I go back? Facts. And when I go back to New York, I also plan to be performing musically as well. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So like my whole theme right now is because I have such all this momentum fashion wise. I feel like now it's like, yo, let's merge these worlds together. Cause like I make music. Let's be clear. I sing R&B. Right. And now people are starting to kind of get it a little bit. Yeah. They're like, okay, hold on. He makes music too? Yes, check it out. It's fire. We work hard, you know? So my whole objective now, like as far as like what's next to answer that question, but put all the pieces together. Yeah. Like we have the foundation. Every person on the team excels at what they specifically do. We have everything we need. Now it's time to just execute at a higher level because now they're watching. Right. All the eyes are on us now. Right. You know, like my profile views are way higher like than I ever, like I'm like, yo, like, you know, there's certain people liking my story or certain people that's liking like posts where I'm like, wait, what the fuck? That's a blue check? Who was that? You know, I'm like, okay. But that doesn't intimidate me. This is compound interest. We've been working like over half a decade for this. It's time now. Right. Now it's like, okay, foot on neck, foot on pedal. Like, let's go. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's why I had to drop the EP as soon as I came back to Chicago. Yeah. Because they're going to digest it. Right. Because there's an audience to give to. Right, exactly. You know, so we've niched down. We know, like, now it's like momentum. It's a momentum battle now. Even when there's moments where momentum may slow a little bit. Yeah. Even in those moments, make sure you're stockpiling. Yep. Songs, visuals. Like, I have this song on the way. Shout out my homie Phoenix. I met her out in New York. She's from the Bronx. She's big BX. Like, she does not play about being from the Bronx at all. But I love that. She's a very kindred spirit. Yeah. Extremely phenomenal lyricist. Extremely phenomenal model. She's phenomenal at everything she does. We got a song on the way. Nice. I got a song with Mona Lisa on the way. Nice. I'm sure you're familiar with who that is. Love Mona. Mona's dope. And a couple other things that I can't speak on just yet, but collaboration. That's another thing. I've built up my solo profile and portfolio enough to where I'm comfortable collaborating with really anybody now, because all that's going to do is bring traction back to this monument of solo work that I've done. I'm going to be pushing this EP for a while. We got visuals on the way. I'm in the process of casting some of the best models in Chicago. I can confidently say that. Nice. To be a part of these music videos and short form content. So nice. Applying pressure. So that's what's next. What would be like your ultimate collaboration? I'd say my ultimate collab. Wow. Pharrell. Wow, that's a beautiful answer. Pharrell, he's just goated at everything he does. Yeah, I was gonna say, in any capacity, you could collaborate with him on a fashion sense, on a musical sense, so many different ways. Yeah, no, Pharrell is different. That's a great answer. That's amazing, actually. Thank you. Well, I'm very happy to hear about all the amazing things that you've been doing, and gratitude. You've obviously been staying busy. You've given me some insight on what I need to do as well, and to really set the foundation for me and what I'm trying to do. And who knows, maybe I'll make some music sometime too, since you kind of inspired me to think about it. We're in a studio. This is a great place to do it. Shout out the dojo. J Noir, like I said, he went gold for making a beat with Bossman D-Lo. Oh, yeah. He's certified gold in the industry. He's an industry level producer. Amazing. Phenomenal engineer. He's worked with vocals and vocalists all across the city. So that's crazy. You would literally not in better hands than working here. That's amazing. So you know where to come. I know where to come, for sure. 1,000. Well, I really appreciate you, coming on the pod again and really having a
a more personal conversation about yourself and just sharing yourself with the world, and just being you, and like I said, they only get a little glimpse of who you are with your music and your modeling. So I'm really happy to be the one to be able to help you tell your story as well.
Thank you so much. I'm grateful for the time, the great energy, the support, because I didn't even there's certain aspects of the album or the EP that you already knew about. And it just communicates to me that you actually care about the art. You didn't have to do that,
Yeah, I wouldn't never want to, I'm not going to fake support somebody, for sure. But also like to go in with at least some knowledge.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's amazing. I really appreciate everything. It's always good talking with you.
Always.
And just remind everybody again where we can find you on social media.
Okay, so on Instagram, it's my full stage name, so LazoSchemes. On YouTube, it's the same, but official at the end, so LazoSchemes official. TikTok is the same as my Instagram, LazoSchemes. You know what time it is, I recently came out with a vlog. TLSS is episode 7 is out now. Just came out with an EP, Whispers Before Dawn, on all streaming platforms. Check that out. Check that out. You know what I'm saying? And, shoot me a follow. If not, you'll see me on the TV or in a city near you. So.
Thank you so much. All right, well, make sure y'all tune into Suffering of Silence wherever you get podcasts, and follow at Suffering of Silence Pod on TikTok and Instagram. I really appreciate everyone being subscribers. I'm going to talk to you guys real soon.
Gratitude.